What's up, everybody? We are here with the Boxing Source and JR Bell here, and I am now with your young brother from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, coming in with a professional record of 5-0, national champion in the amateurs, brother Rashiem Jefferson. What's going on, man?
Nothing. How you doing?
Oh, doing good, doing good. Wanted to catch up with you, get a few things, know about you and everything like that. Like I was saying there in the intro, you're there from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Had a fairly decorated amateur career. Like I said, national champion and now a professional. So you're there at 5-0, and it seems like you're scheduled for a bout coming up in May. Is that correct?
Yep, May 8th.
All right, yep, that's May 8th. It should be there at the 2300 Arena there in his hometown of Philadelphia. You did have your first pro fight at that same arena where
Yeah,
get the win there. And then you were pretty much like put in the spotlight. Very busy last year as you had your pro debut. I think it was last March. And then
yep.
soon after that, you were over to Vegas in a top ranked card, correct?
Yep.
You know, he was in there. He had that fight against Jose Martinez. That was last September, and then it
Mm,
really wasn't that much of a break. He was right back in the gym, and
Yep.
then over there in Las Vegas again for his next fight against Steve Garza. So, like I was saying, he's been doing this thing. Right now 5-0. Had a couple of 4 round bouts, a few 4 round bouts. His latest bout was a 6 round bout. So you're kind of like gradually getting in there,
Yeah.
while being in the pro game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so with that being said, like, how was it to like go into this? Have your pro debut in your hometown, first fight there, just getting that all those cobwebs out, but it's your hometown, so you had to like represent there in the 2300 arena.
It was fun. It was fun. I loved the energy. And it was sold out. It was only standing room. It wasn't no more tickets to sell. You only could get in at the door, and it was only 10 of those left. So it was real good. It was fun, great experience, and it already got me ready for fighting in front of the bigger crowds and all the people cheering for me. So I loved it.
Right, and that kind of like goes with how you had your previous experience there as an amateur. You've had multiple big fights as an amateur, and like I said, you went through there, won a national championship in I think that was 2018, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had that type of big fight atmosphere and whatnot. So having your first fight in your hometown, that was like, oh man, I get to fight in my hometown debut. Man,
hmm
I'm like, oh man, I'm lit.
And it was crazy because I ain't fight there in some years because of all the amateur tournaments was in different places. So bringing it back home for my debut, it was crazy.
Yeah. So that's like, going from, one side there with your pro debut. And then, of course, we had everything that happened, not soon after that with the lockdowns and everything.
Yeah,
No real pro fights or anything going on
yeah,
until like June.
hmm
And, you had the thing with Top Rank kind of like doing their thing over at the
yeah,
MGM Grand Garden Arena or the Grand
yeah.
Ballroom, and you were able to be in there in September. So how was that? Like going from having your debut there in your hometown, 2300 Arena, your fans and your folks there supporting you, and then going to the MGM Grand Ballroom, and it's pretty much like nobody there.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool because I'm more used to fighting away because like I said, all the tournaments was somewhere else. So I'm used to fighting away, but the no fans, it was like just like basically sparring. So I was kind of used to it, but they had like a fake like crowd in there and everything. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Because there were a couple times when they started out and they did like some audio and put in fans, and fans were like putting in sound bites, and I was like, man, that was like a
Yeah,
bad. I don't know what type of idea
yeah.
that
It,
was.
it
Because
it'll go off at random times and everything. Like I was like, duh.
Yeah, because yeah, I mean, there was like I know that one time I was watching that and a few other ones, and someone would just run the same sound bite like every single time, and I'm like, man, who in the world is doing that? But you know,
Yeah,
outside of that, you still have you're able to listen to your corner there. You have like your father
mm,
there, Rashiem
yep,
Senior, and everything. So it's like it's not like having a too much of an audible noise there, you know what I mean? So you'll
yeah,
be able to hear everything while you're, in there during the fight.
yeah. You can hear everything. You can hear your coach, they coach. You can hear the commentators. Like you can hear everything in there.
Yeah, yeah. So within those like two fights that you had, what was like the thing that might have thrown you off a little bit?
Uh, it was just the quarantining part. You know, once you go in your room and take the test, it's no coming out. Like you can't come out your room, so it felt like crazy. And then you couldn't like go, like you can't go nowhere. Like they drive you literally across the street. They driving you. You
Mm-hmm.
can't pick up your food or nothing. So it was like you can't really move around. I'm not one of them type of people that when it's time to fight, I get in my cage and I want to be alone. I'm not that type of person. It's just another day in life for me. So I'm cool and I'll be comfortable. But that was
Mm-hmm.
kind of making me uncomfortable. But then me
Yeah.
going right back in October, I was kind of used to it. So it was a little bit better.
Yeah, because I know that I've talked with a few people that have gone back and forth from where they're at to Vegas, and they
Yeah.
have the testing protocols before getting to Vegas, and then once you get in there,
Mhm.
it's like yeah, you right there in what they call a bubble, and you got to
Yeah.
stay in that hotel room, and it's like man, and sometimes when you go through the testing, that's like some of the most nervous parts that you can have because it's like
Yeah.
man, I don't know if I'm the test, test positive or anything like that. And
Yo,
yeah,
look, I'm gonna tell you
it'd be
about a scare I
crazy.
had. Right,
Yeah.
I had a scare. So I was there, and when I took the test, they said if you get a call by 8 in the morning, that means you got the corona. But if
Hmm.
you don't get a call by 8, then you good.
Right.
So then the next morning, at around like 7:30, I got a call. It said Vegas on as the caller ID. So I
Mm.
was like, no, man. It was about 7:30 something. I'm like, no. I was scared to answer the phone, but they was only
Mm-hmm.
calling me to go take my pictures and do the photo shoot and everything. I did,
Yeah.
when they called me, I was scared though.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nervous sometimes, man, because I know that I had who was it, traded there, Greg Hackett,
Yeah,
what they call him, Gorgeous Greg or something like that. Like
gorgeous
he
Greggy.
went through Gorgeous Greggy. Like he
Mhm.
went through that same thing too, and it's like yeah, you just stay there in the hotel room, you can't do nothing, can't go nowhere, and it's like
Yeah,
man, but once that's all clear, it's like your mind is clear, you're ready to focus
mhm,
on the fight and do your thing,
yeah,
you know. So I mean, going through those, two bouts there, like you had with Jose Martinez and Steve Garagaza, like you've been like fairly busy there since September because you've had like a couple more fights. You've been back in the
yeah,
2300 arena, and
yeah.
you had like one fight 1 month after that thing at the
Mhm,
2300. So yeah, you've been very active there. With starting out as a pro.
yeah. We just trying to stay active, man, so we can get up them ranks quick and get them belts.
Yep.
That's all.
Yep. So right now you're kind of like campaigning in the featherweight division or super featherweight division.
Featherweight.
Yeah, featherweight there, and given like your like your height and reach there, like what is it like measured at 72-inch reach? Like that's crazy for a featherweight, man. Like real
Yeah,
crazy for a featherweight.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But one thing here is coming from Philly, man, and you had your fighting background. Your father was there as a amateur and as a professional. How is it being in that city, like knowing all of those people that have come and gone through the amateur and professional ranks in the city, and those that are there right now.
I like it. I like it. It's fun. And you know it put extra pressure, but the type of guy I am, pressure helped me perform better. So I love it.
Yeah, feel you, feel you. So you're like, working there in what would it be, like your own gym in Philadelphia, or you're like, kind of like located somewhere else out there?
I train with Jerron Ennis, Boozy Ennis. Boozy Ennis is my second. He been training me since I started boxing. I train with
Okay.
my dad. We train at Fight Firm sometimes, and sometimes I train in Jersey in the morning. So I got like three different locations I could go to, but you know,
Right. So yeah, you got Bosie Ennis there as your chief second, and kind of like being your trainer and whatnot. So you kind of like have him there as like your second there and everything like that. So that's like kind of good. Having that there while you have Jerron Ennis, of course, welterweight,
yeah,
undefeated welterweight out there. But I know that they kind of like really put you in work because I heard Bosie Ennis really tries to get at his folks, regardless if it's his son or if it's you or anybody there that steps in that gym.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
You know what I mean? So, but coming off of that, like, who would you say is somebody that you look up to, there from the sport of boxing? That it could be anyone right now or anyone in the past.
Uh, the person I look up to the most is my dad. You know, he was a professional. He is 15-1-1, and he could have fought for a world title, but he broke his neck in a motorcycle accident. He definitely, I definitely look up to my dad. And like they say, all heroes don't wear capes, but another guy is, of course, Jerron Ennis. It's like my big brother. Grew up in the gym together. We grew up together, so he even was training me before I actually officially started boxing, like
Hmm.
competing. So I look up to him and a couple old school fighters, Pernell Whitaker, Prince Nassim. I don't really look up to too many fighters, but it's only a handful of people I do look up to.
True that, true that. Now, there being in the division that you're campaigning in, there's like a lot of competition out there. Right now, you have those champions and Navarretes, the Gary Russell Juniors, and all of those. Like, what do you see yourself doing? Kind of like real soon, because as busy as you are, getting these fights like almost every other month or every month, you're pretty much gonna be out there with like 20 or 25 fights by sometime next year. It almost seems. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
So.
Of course, I see myself getting all the belts and taking over, man. I feel like uh, I'm way too advanced for my age. Like I'm way too advanced for my age, and I feel like them type of world champions like Navarrete and the guy that just stopped Josh Taylor or Josh Warrington. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
Them type of guys not on my level. They only got one type of style, and I could fight either way. So there's nothing them guys could do with me. So once it's just only a matter of time of me getting to that level. But once I get there, everybody gonna see. Gary Russell, I don't see myself fighting Gary Russell because he older. I feel like he on his way out. So I really don't see that fight happening. But if it do happen, I do come out on top.
Hmm. Yeah, the Navarretes, the Joey Gonzalez's that are they're
Yeah,
in the featherweight division, Jesse
another guy.
Magdalenos. Those guys do have that type of style where it's like come forward
Yep.
and just try to swing or punch as much as they can, but it's not like much where they kind of like move around a little bit.
Yeah.
So you'll be
That's the
able to like
perfect style for
easily
me.
counter, easily
Yeah.
counter them and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
I,
that
and I
that.
fought that style. I fought that style a million times in the amateurs. That's the perfect style for me. Them coming straight forward, and then once I get too comfortable, I start to take it on the inside, and I beat them at their game. So I can do either way. Either the way the fight can go, I can fight.
Mhm.
So I never have a problem.
Yeah, feel you. Now, you are, they're currently in the featherweight division, and you're young, very young, 19 years old. So
Yeah,
sooner or later, you may be still growing a little bit. You know what I mean?
definitely,
So
definitely.
I see you getting up there in that super featherweight or pretty much lightweight there within the next 2 or 3 years. And the thing about it is right now, like super featherweight and lightweight. has a lot of young fighters currently.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you can see yourself, being there among the spotlight, there among 130 and 135, after
Mhm.
you have your little stint at 126. I mean, we had like, who was it? Shakur Stevenson, like, started
Yep.
out at 126, but
Yep.
now he's already at 130.
Yeah.
After just winning a world title, he's already there at 130. So, he's there outgrowing, but you're younger than all of them. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, so but for that fight that's scheduled at the 2300 arena, have they been able to secure an opponent yet?
Not yet. Listen. Since I've been fighting, I haven't been able to get a opponent for at least the last 2 weeks, and within the last week or two. So
Hmm.
it's hard, man. I go through about 7 to 8 people a fight, bro.
Oh
And
man.
the guys that say they gonna take it, they get the contract and start making up different excuses. Like I was supposed to fight a 5-0 guy. He got the contract and he tried to make me come down a week to 122.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nah,
Said he
they can't do that.
yeah.
And it'll be something like, like you said, about 2 or 3 weeks before the fight. Like,
Yep.
wait, like, no, you can't. Y'all can't have me going down to no 122 when this thing said right here
Yep.
126. You know what I mean?
Yep. Mhm.
Because it's like you already, work to get to where you are as far as like being there at 126. Like, in doing that two week or 1 week cut, nah,
Definitely.
that is not, the way to go right there. So, that's one of the few things, that people do have to watch out, for in the sport of boxing. But you have those people around you, your dad, Bozy, that kind of
Mhm.
like watch for those things too. So I'm sure that they kind of like look out for stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
Mhm.
so one other thing that I wanted to, kind of like talk about is like, I kind of follow you, like I said, with the pro fights. And one of my colleagues who, was able to, get me there linked up with you, brother
Yeah.
Jamil, YSM
Yep.
Sports. He kind of like, talks with you a little bit about different things. And he like talks about various topics there in boxing. But um like you said, with Boots Ennis, it's like he looks like he's the next man, or very soon there at 147 pounds. And we did see him there against Sergey Lipinets, a top 10 fighter in the 147-pound division, and we saw like how he was able to handle Sergey Lipinets. But
Definitely.
yeah, it looks like it's sky's the limit there for Boots there at
Yep.
147.
Always, always. Sky the limit for everybody.
Yep, feel you. Who else is out there that's working with you over there in the gym with your dad and Bozy and Boots usually?
You saying as a coach?
Yeah, as a coach or like other fighters there that be around that squad.
Oh, fighters. Ray Ford. We got a kid named Carlos. We got Stephen Fulton. We got we got a lot of great fighters. In another gym is Paul Crew. It's a lot of great fighters out here. We got Victor Padilla that just got the knockout on PBC.
Hmm.
So we got a couple fighters.
Yeah, you did mention Cool Boy. There's WBO champ, and
Yeah.
I just seen that he'll be in a fight in September, waiting on who's gonna
Yep.
win between Luis Neri in his fight that he's gonna have with
Figueroa.
Brandon
Yep.
Figueroa. So that's gonna be a good little scrap, and he gets the winner for unification. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna be on the lookout, and he's definitely gonna be primed for that particular matchup there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
Yep, but outside of that, like you kind of like said that you're the type of dude that kind of like hangs out and about a little bit. What are like some things that you do that are like outside of boxing, or is it just 25/8 boxing?
So sometimes you got like after I fight and stuff like that. I could play basketball sometimes. I play the game sometimes. I just do different stuff. I go out. I go bowling, things like that. Just to keep my mind off of different things.
Word. So on the games front, what is it? You a PS5 or Xbox?
PlayStation, man.
All right, PS5, PS5. But what would you say is like your go-to game on the PlayStation?
Either Call of Duty or Man. One of those.
Oh yeah, Madden, yeah. I mean that, yeah. I be playing Madden sometimes, but I'm kind of up there. So I
Yeah.
remember when when it was like the first Madden game. So by the time we get up to like 2019 and 2020, it's like, hey, I don't know if I could still be doing this no more. So if I got online and on the game against somebody, I get smashed 45-0 or something. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it was, but sometimes it gets fun, playing those games and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But going back to your thing there for fighting once again at the 2300 arena. Um, did they say anything about possibly having fans in the stands there at 2300? Because I think they've had a couple of events out there recently.
Yeah, they gonna have about 250, maybe 300 people in there. So yeah, I mean that ain't that much compared to
Mhm.
what it was for my debut, but it's something. Make a little bit of noise in there.
Yeah, and sometimes even if it's like 250, as long as it's you know 250 of your biggest fans and you're out there showing out for your biggest fans, then
Yeah,
sometimes that's like the best thing, you know what I mean?
definitely.
You know. But you know, what would be one thing about Rashiem Jefferson in the ring or out of the ring that people may not know that you would want them to know?
Uh, all right. In the ring, that they probably don't know is, uh, you know, I definitely could punch a little bit, and once we get more rounds, this is gonna be my last 6 rounder because this is the third one. We're gonna be going into the 8 rounders. We're not gonna be seeing too many of them guys go to the distance. So that's one thing they don't know
Mm-hmm.
that I want them to know, but they gonna see it. So I definitely could punch. Outside of the ring, people might not know I'm a fun guy. I like having fun. So, you know, a lot of people don't like having fun. A lot of people, they just straight uh boxing, boxing, boxing. But sometimes you gotta get your mind. You gotta do different things. You feel me?
Yeah,
So
feel you, feel you.
yeah, I'm a real fun guy, man.
True that, true that. But I mean, it looks like you've been, just recently doing workouts there in the gym and everything like that. See if we could, get back into, that action. Like I said, we'll have you in the ring once again at the 2300 arena there in Philadelphia, PA. There. So, just wanted to, you know, give you a big thanks for taking the time to be here with the Boxing Source. And we'll definitely be catching up with you leading up to the fight. And, we'll tell people, once you're in action that, y'all could, check them out and tune in and everything like that.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate you for bringing me on, man.
Yeah, no doubt. So once again, this is, what do they call him? Super Sharp Sheen,
Yeah,
brother Rashiem Jefferson Jr. there from Philadelphia. Like I said, professional, 5-0. Currently campaigning there in the featherweight division. He will have his next fight real soon. There in May in Philadelphia. So y'all be sure to keep an eye on him. And make sure that you shout out your social media so people can follow you on social media.
I got an Instagram. It's team_Sheen, team_SHIEM Sheen. That's it. Instagram.
There you go. So y'all follow him there. team underscore SHIEM, Team Sheen. And you'll definitely be able to get the latest from him, all the action that will be coming up from him and everything like that. So y'all be sure to follow him, and we'll keep y'all up to date on what he's going to be doing next. Thank you very much, there, brother Rashiem, for taking the time to join us here on the Boxing Source.
My man, appreciate you.
All right, no doubt.